Hello everyone. Guys, James7532 here. Today, we're taking a look at James. Now, you might be thinking, dude, why? Your other James was brilliant. Perfect, a work of art, some of you might say. Well, here's the thing. Like, Thomas and Percy, they were good, but I wasn't quite happy with the shape. Because the TV series James has the firebox that extends almost out to the cab, but not quite. And that works for the TV series, yes. But when you're basing him off something in real life, such as the Class 28, which I wasn't using specifically, but I was sort of going for a combination of 060s and sort of James's style, if you understand my meaning here. And, well, I kind of didn't like it because the footplate on the first version was a little too long. Just a little bit. I was happy with it because I liked James with the long footplate, but it was just a little too long. So I decided to shorten that. And then the firebox being too wide, I cut that down so it's thinner now. Yeah. And there were some parts of the footplate and sandboxes I just wasn't happy with. But the paint job was brilliant. Excellent, even. Yeah. But I dare say I like this version of James a whole lot more. Just because not only does it still incorporate the blue lining, which is a lot neater, but it also has a lot of the kinks from the first James worked out. So, without further ado, let's take a closer look at it, shall we? So, James here was made out of the first RWS series James. Yeah, you guys seen that one. Let's get the camera here. Him right in the middle. So, James was painted in the same red I did. Not the same red for anything but, this Delta cream coat fire red. Screenshot that. And I like this red. It covers a whole lot more than the others, but yeah, that's how we're talking about. We're talking about James. I painted him up after I cut down the firebox in the back here. So instead of extending out here, it now is brought in so it's touching the boiler. Not the smoothest job, I'll admit, but pretty good considering other cuts have been really rough. And I'm not quite sure how to cover that. Yeah. His whistle is still made from a toothpick on top of his cab. The cab is still red, of course. This time, I gave blue lining to him around his boiler and firebox, too. That was originally the plan for the first version of RWS series James. But then I decided not to because the blue lining on the tender was a pain. Yeah. Speaking of tender, let's just uncouple the tender. Yeah. Tender's the basic tender from before, sanded down and given a new paint job. Now, I did weather his tender. I tried not to do too much, and I think it looks good, though. Even if it is a little much, but it looks good. His 5 and his lining I did actually very differently. Similar to Thomas's, I did the stripes with tape cut into strips and then put on and Mod Podged over and stuff. Yeah, I did that with the blue lining here. The 5, I took some yellow tape, or some masking tape painted yellow, drew a black outline around it, and then sort of just stuck it on there, cut it out. And then I couldn't get the curve quite perfectly, so I used a red marker and just colored that in. Yeah, on both sides. I like this 5 a little bit better than this 5, but they both look great. I like it. Yeah. That's the tender. I did not only modify the firebox on the main James, I cut down the cab a lot. Because if you've ever seen a normal Tommy James, here, let me see if I can get mine. The normal Tommy James looks something like this. You can see the differences, can't you? The cab is a whole lot smaller on the RWS series version. And the firebox is also a little shorter. Yeah. Cutting down the back. Yeah. By the way, I'm thinking of redoing this James, or at least getting somebody to make a TV series accurate proportional James, because this is so close, but not quite. So, anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the RWS series James. You may notice a few differences in livery. Even though the first engine's livery was really good, and it was all smooth and stuff, granted, this James is still awesome too. I like it. There is a few changes to the livery outside of the blue. I gave him the gold handrails, because I didn't want to fiddle with the silver paint, unlike other engines, which, granted, it would have been a lot easier to do it on James than some others that you'll see eventually. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Anyway, same thing on this side. And then I gave him a gray footplate instead of the black, just because I think James would be the kind of engine. Because James says he's a really splendid engine, and he stands out from most of the others, right? So I thought, okay, well, how do I make James's livery stand out? Because you can't really do that much with his shape, because he looks very similar to Henry sometimes. I thought, okay, well, let's give him a gray footplate, because everybody else has black. Well, except for Donald and Douglas at the moment, because they only had one pair, and I wanted them to sort of be TV series and RWS series. Don't worry, I'm thinking of building new shells for them, so I can give them the black footplate and livery and stuff. Anyway, yeah. So I thought, okay, well, let's give James a gray footplate instead, just to sort of make him pop even more. And you might be saying, well, Eddie, you're Rosie. Last time we seen her, she had a white footplate. So what makes James so different from her? Well, Rosie has since been updated quite a bit, now with a black footplate and extreme weathering, with rusts around her whistle and along the bottom here. I wanted Rosie to get more of a grimy look now, so yeah, still looks great. Yeah, so I gave James the gray footplate to help him stand out amongst the others. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Oh, his pony truck, right. His pony truck was accomplished the same way I did the other one, where I just sort of stuck it in the foam board, and then put a toothpick. I couldn't put it in the foam board this time, I had to put it next to it. And luckily there was like a screw hole there, so it was perfect. And then the bogie still spins, or moves rather, as you can see. Yeah, it's sometimes fiddly just because of the height difference. Yeah. I think I am the front things here, they were accomplished differently this time. You might notice they're a whole lot thicker than they were on the original James, and that's because I used styrene plastic. I got the wrong kind, so it's, instead of being thin sheets of plastic, it's like thick. So yeah, I just decided, oh, well, I could just use this for the things in front of James. And it worked really well, because red paint's a lot easier to apply on a thicker surface than a thin surface, like the other ones. Yeah. And his dome is just a gold paint pen, which I might have to go back and touch up a little bit. Yeah. So that's James the Red Engine. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've noticed we've gotten to 500 subscribers. I might have said this in a previous video, but we've gotten to 500. That's half of 1,000. And I've noticed some of you shared the Boomer video. Thank you for that. I know that was a long time ago, but I've been so busy making customs, I haven't really checked much of YouTube notification and stuff. Yeah, so thank you guys for sharing, liking, commenting. I love you guys' comments. I like reading and interacting with people, with you guys. Because There have been a few negative comments, sure, but 90% of the time it's all, wow, your customs are amazing. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for that. I know I keep saying, okay, the special will come out. There will be something special coming out. Eventually, I swear to God, there will be. If there isn't something out by the end of this year, to thank you guys for some umpteen thousand subscribers, if we can get to 1,000 by 2023, ooh yeah. You can bet something will be coming out. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing, all that. And I suppose I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.